All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. Martin False here, pleased to be joined by the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Gordon Dove. Mr. Dove, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me, Martin.
Now, I know, God, we've talked about this so much. Then we switched into Hurricane Ida. The numbers started going down for COVID. We wake up this morning, people are canceling New Year's parties. People are getting ready to hunker down again. I know you've seen the numbers. I'm sure it alarms you a little bit.
Yeah, Martin, they are going up. Since Thursday, including Thursday, we to today, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had 218 new cases, but 0 deaths, so that's a good thing. And so that's a little bit over 50 a day. And we had been averaging about 12 to 20 a day, so that's really going up somewhat. We have 8 hospitalizations, so hospital numbers are low, and that's based on 1,236 reported tests since then. And Terrebonne is at a 41% vaccination rate. We have 52,548 total number of people completed vaccine series in Terrebonne Parish, and this virus is spreading quick. The new one and the old one.
Yeah, it has a 4.6% positivity, which is, still better than it was at some points. But I guess the point is, and I spoke personally to probably, I think it was three individuals who told me they had tested positive during the weekend for COVID, all who had their vaccines and their booster. So, and I'm hearing a lot of people out there saying, well, why should we get it? Because it does cut down the rate of mortality. Is that still what you're hearing out there in the medical?
100%, Martin. If you look at it, 8 hospitalizations, 0 on ventilators, 0 in ICU, and 0 deaths for 4 days. The numbers speak for themselves. That definitely the shot with the booster is definitely working. And I know I've had both shots and the booster, and I actually tested myself this morning. I'm still negative, so that's a good thing. And but it's definitely the shots are working without a doubt. The vaccines are definitely a huge success.
As a parish president, in the next section we'll get to the nuts and bolts of Ida again, but maybe to sort of correlate the two together. You faced the COVID epidemic, then you had to morph into Hurricane Ida, and now you're back in the COVID epidemic. It's a chess game, and it certainly is something that you have to keep your eye on. But what are some of the things y'all learned from the past that maybe you could implement that would be easier this time around?
Well, Martin, it still goes by wash your hands, keep your distance from people, and if you're in a crowded room, wear a mask. You still can catch it, and there have been some people that had the vaccines and they died from it, but it's very few. But it has happened. But the hospitalization rates speak for themselves, and we have a vaccine, and just if we're gonna beat this thing, I believe this virus is here to stay. We're gonna have to learn to live with it. It's gonna be constantly here, and these vaccines seem to be working, and I hope they do with this new strain.
I guess it's just like the flu. Well, a lot of us are used to going and get the flu shot every year, different strains, and we're hoping that the coronavirus quits making us guess so much, and that we get it in the same. And a lot of people think it is in the same realm as the flu, but I won't get in that debate because everybody's on a different side of the fence when it comes to that. So it still remains a personal choice for a lot of people.
Right, Martin. And of course, as we all watch TV, there's a pill that can come out, and I think it's just in its infancy. So it's going to come out with better and better, and we just have to keep fighting this thing. And it's for some reason this thing is spreading very, very rapidly.
Yeah, it's very contagious, and the pill. We just got to hope we can get the pill, and that we don't have to wait months to get the pill. Everything else is in pretty good supply for you as a parish president?
Yeah, Martin, everything's working good. When even though the hurricane, for the last 3 months we've been in hurricane recovery mode, we still been dealing with the COVID virus. So that's never going away. Right. We probably hadn't been as vocal on it, and I thank you for bringing it up. But I mean, it's still been at the top of our of our items in our priorities.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know we're going to come back and talk about Hurricane Ida, which after this segment. But just to let the audience know that we do have members of Terrebonne General Health Systems that are going to be on tomorrow here on HTV to talk about some of the more inside developments on COVID, on the new variant. So we'll have that. We're upticking on our stories now because we're seeing a lot of people that are getting this variant. So let's morph into Hurricane Ida and some of the recovery. I know I've ridden around, I've seen some of the trailer camps that are going up. Are you seeing an increase, and are you satisfied with the increase?
Well, no, we're never satisfied, and of course, it was slow getting off. We had approached GOSEF, which is the state, and they went ahead and started ordering a few thousand trailers, and I believe also Archie Chasson and Matt Jewell with St. Charles and Archie Chasson with Lafourche had pushed it also, and so it's so to date we have state travel trailers 1,074 deployed, 801 with families. And we also have 32 at Rebecca Plantation at the corner of 311 and 90. So, this puts us in well over 1,000 people 1,000 trailers that's deployed, and about, 833 with families in them. And then with the FEMA trailers, now if you want to see the difference, the travel trailers are a regular camper trailer that you see. The FEMA trailers look like a mobile home, but they're smaller, and we have 66 private sites with homes on it, with 28 mobile home units with people in them, that's occupied out of the 66, and 17 travel trailers that FEMA has that's occupied, and then there's 21 additional mobile homes at commercial trailer parks. So FEMA's right at 100 of their travel trailers and home units that are in place, and about 50 of them are occupied. So
I know y'all have done a lot of. I know y'all have worked and y'all have got together and tried to be creative. I know y'all work with Bobby Thompson and those crews to build facilities. I know that y'all sort of gave the green light to Tita and Matt Rooker to deliver trailers, which was very successful. So y'all really, as a parish, almost tried everything to, make up for the fact that we just didn't get enough federal help real quick.
Yeah, Bart, and that's a good point. Tita did about 28 trailers, if I'm not mistaken, and they're actually all occupied. The Sheriff Tim Saunier, he got, I think it's 20 trailers to get his people in, and that was a good move by him. That he's got his own mobile home park, I guess you'd say, so he could get his people housed. So besides the FEMA and GOSEF, there was a few other things that were done and been very successful. And You know, we've got one gentleman who donated $500,000, and it was distributed to different people in these homes and what have you, which was very generous. And he asked to be anonymous, so but he did give $500,000 that was distributed, and a lot of other people have distributed monies. And you know, the toy giveaway for Christmas. I know my daughter through the Gordon Dove Jr. Foundation was very instrumental in getting them out. John Navy and Alonda Williams and others gave out, you know, what, 300 bicycles and 1,000 toys at the Civic Center. In fact, I was there, and so you know, y'all were there, and other you know, other elected officials were there, and that was very successful.
Seemed like everybody was there. You, the district attorney, the sheriff, the council people, the judges, you name it. Everybody, and that was a great thing to see. It was unbelievable. Yeah,
that sure was. You know, a lot of people showed up, and so I mean, everything's really. I mean, more for Cat 4, which is I think is going to be redesignated as a Cat 5. I mean, for Terrebonne to survive off of that and back. I mean, we were back running. You know, within 2 weeks. You know, and I mean, it's just a you know, just very. It just shows the people of Terrebonne Parish how resilient they are, and Lafourche and St. Charles and other areas, and you know how quick of recovery that Terrebonne Parish has. And of course, you know, unfortunately, there's still people rebuilding, and anything we can do to help them. We've got another program out where we're going to start tearing down and hauling away these blighted homes, they're not blighted, I should say destroyed homes.
Demolished,
that people can't afford to tear them down, and so we will tear them down and haul it away. You know, there's some paperwork to sign, and so we're trying to expedite cleaning up, and a lot of that's down the bayous and all. And you see roofers all over the place. You see metal buildings going back up, and you know, and everyone just going, you know, back to normal. I mean, you know, the industries, all the different industries are back open. Terrebonne General's back up, and Chabert's back up, thank goodness. And those hospitals are up and running. And you know, I believe Terrebonne General put a 200-mile-an-hour roof on it this time, so I don't think they'll have that problem again.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Mr. Dove, and we will certainly be in touch with you quite a bit as we try to get through this latest COVID. But thank you, and we look forward to a great new year.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for having me.
All right, and as we go to the break, a reminder, those of you who haven't seen all of the Hurricane Ida footage as we were bringing it, we're going to have it encapsulated, some of that on Year in Review, so you'll get a chance to see that as we bring in the new year. Not to relive the old, but you got to relive it to move forward sometimes. We'll be right back.